It is not my church. We are laborers that the Lord has called and anointed to play our different and diverse roles, either as apostles or prophets, evangelists, pastors, or teachers. We are servicemen. There have been many in the past who have gone into glory, and God is raising more. If the Lord tarries, someday we will not be seen, we will have been gone. But you know what is exciting? The one who owns the church is there, seated on the right hand of the majesty. Now listen to this. Listen to this. I'm going to be absolutely free in this teaching. Now, if it is Jesus' church, then something is wrong somewhere. Now, I know that if we take a statistics of this congregation, of the people assembled in this conference, we will not make any mistake by saying that this makeup is almost 90, if not 95% young people. Yes or no? Do you know that is strategic? Do you know that is prophetic? Do you know that is ordained by God to be? Do you know, are you aware that God is starting a new thing? And God is not walking in the old any longer. God is doing something new. Now we'll be going to scripture very soon, but I want to build a foundation upon which we are building few minutes house. And the purpose is to have you established with a truth that I want you to remember all the days of your sojourn on this earth. That this church we are talking about is Jesus' church. As a matter of fact, I don't mind if that is the only thing I will be able to say, but I trust the Lord I will be able to deal with the subject new wine, because you can't even understand the new wine teaching, the new wine concept, unless I explain to you in total the definition of the church. You know that the church is called the ecclesia, the called out ones, who are called out of darkness by he who called them out, one and the only, who died on the cross of Calvary, who paid the penalty, the supreme penalty of your sin, not with dollars or pounds sterling or naira, but with his precious blood. So that when you go around as young people and you go to places where you see people parade themselves as if they own the church, then you will remember that the church belongs to who? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Have you heard people who say our church? I know it's a good term because that means the church where we worship. But have you also heard people say my church? In my church I don't tolerate this. My church? My church? Even Peter could not say my church. Paul could not say my church. He labored so much. None of the preachers could say my church. But Jesus' church, the church that Jesus built, the church that is neither Methodist nor Anglican nor Roman Catholic nor Redeemed Christian Church of God nor Christ Apostolic Church nor Apostolic Faith or the Apostolic Church or Trend or Christ Embassy or four square, even in the four square camp that we are, but the church that belongs to Jesus. Now let me tell you, how many of you belong to different churches here? Let me see your hand. You belong to different churches. How many of you know, sorry, you belong to different denominations? That's what I should say. But how many of you know that you couldn't belong to any denomination until first you became a church? So touch yourself, say, I am the church. I can't hear you. Now we're into trouble this morning. I can't hear you say loud, I'm the church. Well, maybe you think because I'm having microphone, that is why you think I have an advantage over you. Say, I am the church. Look at your neighbor, say, you are the church. I can't hear you say, you are the church. Tell your neighbor, it's not the Methodist, it's not the Anglican, it's not the Pentecostal, it's not about the Evangelical. Touch your neighbor, say, you are the church. Who is sitting beside you? Even though we wear different colors, but we are the same. We are the same. We are the people redeemed by the blood of the Lamb. Somebody give the Lord a shout. John Wesley, the founder of the Methodist movement that we call Methodist today, a vibrant evangelical church, was so full about Methodist church and thought everything was about Methodist. So one day God took him in a revelation to heaven. An angel of God conducted him round, and he saw people with white clothes, in white, with palm fronds in their hands. And he asked the angel, who are these ones? Are they the Methodists? The angel said no. There weren't many denominations in those days. Is it the Protestant? He said no. The Catholic? He said no. The Apostolic? He said no. He said, who there are they? He said, these are the people which have been washed by the blood of the Lamb. Here, there is no Methodist, there is no Catholic, no Pentecostal, there is no Evangelical, there is nothing. It is the church. One truth in your heart today: the general overseer of your church, of your denomination, does not own the church. He is a laborer, like this one talking to you right now. And very soon, many of you will become laborers like us. So when you become laborers and God allows you to pioneer a church, whose church will it be? I can't hear you. I can't hear you loud. He said, this man must be a troublemaker. He's making us do a lot of talking this morning. That church that God will pioneer through you will be whose church? Okay. Let's try to hit the road. Now I want to commend the leadership for the good work that the Lord is doing. I am so excited. I am so fascinated. I am more confident in God than ever. God is in total control, and God still has the remnant. This is not the best time in the year to have a retreat. It takes men of faith, visionary leaders, to put sentiment apart and go for God. I am believing God that next year, if the Lord tarries, we will be many times more than this. Now listen. Not because we are after crowd, but